things, oh shit, about to get him. One of the things, drop this log real quick. The three of us, me and Dad and Kenny, a lot of times people ask, or like, people ask about, you know, about the volume of timber we cut. Because when we do cut oak timber, not just our walnut, but when we do cut oak, you know, we can put out a lot of footage, a lot of production for our area. And people often ask, they're like, how many guys you got working for you? How big's your crew? Do you run 2 crews? No, we don't. There's 3 of us. There's 3 of us. And the reason that the 3 of us can put out so much timber is because we work well together. You take, for instance, me and Kenny. Kenny's my uncle, but he's really more like my brother, how we were raised together and grew up. And, you know, there's, like any brothers, there's times we don't get along good at all. Like, we fight like cats and dogs. But I'll tell you this, when we get to the timber, that don't matter. When we get to the timber, it's all business. Like right now, what we're doing working, I've been pulling these trees, tops and all, over here, and these guys are cutting the log out of the tops, and I'm pushing the tops up. And that's how we're keeping this clean, this whole area out here, which we'll have to go back over it with a skid steer and do some fine tuning, you know, pick up the small debris. But, you know, to do this and to do it fast and do it efficient, you've really got to be on the same brain lengths. You really do the same brain lengths. We've been doing this so long together that it's like the 3 of us, before it happens, we each kind of know what each other's thinking in a way. And that's how we work so good, how we work so good together. Like I said, we don't always get along, but when it comes time to work, man, it's time to work, and it's all about safety and efficiency. And that's what we try to do. Just like right now, the guys are cutting these tops up, and I'm pulling the logs out. I've been pulling trees up, pushing tops up. This skidder rarely stops moving, this grapple skidder. It's to stay efficient, you've got to make every move count. And people will often call me, like, or message me on Facebook out of the blue, and they'll want to know, hey, are you hired? Are you looking for a skidder operator? Well, the answer is always no. I mean, and I'm sure a lot of them are nice guys. They probably are nice people just looking for work. But we're just strictly family owned and operated. The only time that we ever hired anybody outside to work for us was one of my best friends. His name is Nathan. And Nathan, at the time, he was working in the operators union. And he was laid off for the winter, like the operator union always does around here when it gets cold. They can't work near as much. So Nathan went to work for me. And he's no longer with the operators. He's taken a different job since. And Nathan's good with equipment. Other than him being my best friend, Nathan, he's one of those cats that can jump on any piece of equipment. You give him 5 or 10 minutes, it's like the guy was born on it. Man, he's just good on iron. He is. He's a really good equipment operator. That's like running this skidder, you know, I've been running a log skidder since I was, you know, Dad put me on the skidder. I mean, granted, I wasn't out here just busting out big jobs, but he started me running the skidder when I was pretty young. And you evolve. Anybody can run a piece of equipment. Anybody can jump on a piece of equipment and run it. But not everybody's an operator. You know, an operator makes every move count. And it takes years. It really does. It takes years to become a good operator on a piece of equipment. And guys, I've been running a log skidder since I was probably 10 years old. I mean, when I was 15, I spent my summers, you know, full-time dragging logs. And I still learn new stuff. You know, I'm still picking up little tips and tricks to help me become a better operator all the time. I mean, you constantly learn, you constantly evolve. That's just part of the game there. I'm gonna throw this up and park real quick, maybe. Jump out here. You can, like I said, there's the treetops. And you can see what we do by taking those logs, pulling the tree and top up there, cutting the log out, then I get in here and I just push those tops together tight. And, you know, the guys here on the ranch will burn those brush piles. Eventually, we'll probably let them air dry through the summer months coming on, then they'll light those things up. And it makes the timber look a lot better where we were. Just keeps things clean and neat. Of course, we'll make a landing up there on top of the hill where we'll deck these logs. But I tell people, and I'm not an expert, I'm just I still think of myself as some kid. I'm just some kid that I've been fortunate enough to grow up in a profession like this, be around it, and have a dad that was, and I can tell you right now, there was times he probably wanted me to do anything but cut logs. He didn't, I don't think he wanted me to go down this career path, but I used to dream of man, when I was a kid, I used to dream of a machine with a cab with heat and air. And it's humble beginnings, you know, because when I started logging full-time with Dad, we just had one skidder. He did everything with one skidder. It wasn't all about production then. And, of course, now we've got 5. And I started buying my own equipment, whether it be skidders, skid steers, trailers, trucks. And you got to build on something. I have a lot of kids that message me, younger kids, teenagers, that, you know, they ask for advice. And I don't know who I am to give advice, but I mean, I just kind of tell them my story, like, hey, you know, you got to start somewhere. You know, you do. You can't start at the top. And if you do start at the top, you'll never appreciate it, man. You need to start down low and work your way up there, and you'll appreciate what you have. You really will. Because I sure do appreciate all this iron and stuff we got. Just like today, you know, I was sitting here a minute ago running this thing, and man, it's just like I get to think about something like, man, this is great. You know, like I'm living my childhood dream. I'm doing what I always wanted to do. I'm logging, and I'm logging, you know, big, nice logging equipment. And not everybody, not all of our competition, they don't have, most of our competition doesn't have the operation we have. They don't have multiple skidders. They don't have these newer machines like this. Not that to a lot of you guys, this is an old machine to a lot of you. I know in my part of the world, this is a new machine. And you know, we have the ability to cut these trees and push them up and, you know, pull the top and all, push them up in tops. And, man, it's great. We do. I'm very thankful every day for what we have and what we can do. And our clients, the people that put their trust and faith in us and to do the job and do it right. I mean, I give all I got, and I'm never afraid to post pictures or talk about where we're working at or what we're doing, because, man, I take a lot of pride in what we do. I do. And I work a lot of long nights. I work a lot of early mornings. I work a lot of weekends, holidays, because, I mean, that's what I pride myself on. I mean, I put everything I got into it because I believe it's a reflection of us, you know, our job's a reflection of our company. So I'm going to push these up, and we're going to go down here to the next bunch, and we'll see if we can get them going too. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me.